But I want to start with you here, Craig, because this is Fulham. They're not going to win the Premier League. They're not going to get relegated. So why not go for it in the FA Cup?
I think he's a very good manager, and I think I got a lot of time from him and how his team plays. But I'll analyse this for you quite simply. He plays his strongest team, he wins the game. And he did not. So he can say, well, we still should have won because we made these changes. And he was just waffling in the end, wasn't he, with his head down, because he knows that... And maybe he wanted to be out of the FA Cup. I don't know. Maybe he wanted to be out. Maybe he didn't want the hassle of it. Maybe he doesn't have the ambition. And I don't get that. I don't get it. Because if he gets to a quarter-final, is he going to rest 9 players again? If he gets to a semi-final, was he going to rest 8 players? I just don't get the lack of ambition. Frank and I were lucky. But I was lucky as a player. Played in 1 FA Cup final. Could have played in 2, but for Frank's mate, left me out. It's a different story. Played in 3 FA Cup semi-finals and a bunch of quarter-finals. And I don't remember once, and Frank will tell you about the atmospheres that we used to go to semi-finals and what it meant to you as a player, quarter-finals and semis. And I know that was in the late 90s, and I know the game has slightly changed in terms of the commercial side of it. But the fundamentals are still the same. You're in a relegation fight, or you're mid-table, or you're going for Europe, and you're going for a cup. And I don't remember one game, that we did not put out at Chelsea our strongest team to who was available for the manager. Not one game. Because those moments in a player's career, and you look at Port Vale, and you looked at Macclesfield early in the season, what it means to players, what it means to supporters. And I'll tell you what, when he makes 9 changes in that dressing room or on the board or the day before or whenever the hell he does it, when he makes those 9 changes, that's sending a message saying, I'm not bothered about being in the quarterfinals. Because if you are bothered, you're not making 9 changes. And I just don't understand this mentality, because we had a mentality that we went for it because there was going to be something tangible at the end of the season, and you're going to get to a quarter-final. You get to a quarter-final, you can sniff the next one. My God, we're nearly at a semi. You get to the semi, all of a sudden Wembley is around the corner if you're not playing the semis at Wembley. So I just don't understand, Frank. This mentality drives me crazy, because we've been in a situation where it meant everything to us to try to be at Wembley at the end of May.
I'm 100% with you, Craig. I'm upset. As much as I appreciate the coach, and he has proven that during the season he could upset many other teams, it took away a possibility of dreaming to the fans, to the club, and to the players. I would have been so upset to be one of the 9 players out because of this decision and the fact that you lost the game at home against Southampton. That's almost a professional mistake, I would call that, because that was a one-time opportunity maybe for Fulham to reach, as you said, maybe a quarter-final, maybe a semi-final, maybe Wembley. And I remember, and I won the World Cup with France, but I have to share the first time that we won together, even if you didn't play, if we won together the FA Cup and my first silverware, that's an unforgotten time for me. We spent like 2 hours with the fans, because Chelsea didn't win anything for like 25 years. So you know how exceptional it is for a player, for a fan to share that moment and to live that moment. And he took it away, betting that without the 9 players that he normally put on, they will win and maybe carry on. That's insane. And as we say, I don't remember Fulham being in a Champions League or even a Europa League. So that doesn't make any sense. Really, it doesn't make any sense. I'm very upset for the way thinking the football and the rotation boring system that every coach have to put on. I don't understand that.
Well, they did. To be fair to them, I only know this because I was covering it, but they did go to Hamburg for Europa League. Might have been the final, I can't remember. Back in the day, when Roy Hodgson was the manager, they had Clint Dempsey and a bunch of other. They're a good side, but you know, and every manager now makes an excuse. Every single damn one of them will come out and they defend their actions to the hilt. Like, there's 200 games now a year. What do they think? Do they think 20 years ago there was only 18 games a year? Do they think there was no League Cup, there was no Europe, there was no FA Cup, there was no fighting in the Premier League back in the 90s? Of course there was. But I tell you what, there wasn't. There wasn't this conveyor belt of excuses. Well, I had to make the changes because we were going for Europe. A lot of teams have been going for Europe. A lot of years. What would I rather do? Again, if you get in the Europa League, it's all right. I mean, Tottenham won it last year, having a hellish season, so that's a story for them. But what would I rather have as a player? Would I rather finish 6th or 7th and maybe get in the Europa League and see what happens? Or would I rather have a bit of an average season, finish 12th and win the FA Cup? I'd rather finish 12th and go to Wembley. Because I could talk about that when I finish playing. When we're talking about when you finish your career, you say, hey, I finished 7th, I finished 6th, I finished 8th, or I finished 9th. You know, you say, well, we got to a cup final or two, and we lost one or we won one, and you have those memories. And you feel, and whilst there's no guarantee that we're going to win it, of course there's not, you've got to give yourself an opportunity to win it. And what he did today was take that opportunity away, as Frank said, from the players, from the supporters. He's took away, basically, he's gambled on Southampton and failed. He gambled the 9 changes on Southampton and he failed. And he's not the only one. The Premier League is full of them now. It's full of them. And they'll all tell you, I had to do it. No, you didn't. You didn't have to do it. You chose to do it.